everyone. In today's video I'm going to show you how to tie this fly or this fly, and obviously the difference is in Wingcase cover. And if you're wondering what it is, let's get into tying and you will see it's very easy, very simple, and looks good. So without any further ado, let's just hop into tying. For the materials, I will use hook in size 14, jig of, so hook is obviously jig, jig of bead is 2.8, and I put the hook through this indent side, so I'll just show you how it looks. So you have this regular hole, and usually people would just thread the hook through this, but if you turn it around, this bead will actually go further up, revealing the whole hook shank for you. In regards of thread, I'm using 18/0 nano silk by Semperfli. Ribbing I will do with Uni French wire in XS gold. Although I prefer copper for this one, but currently I don't have copper. For the body, I'm going to use pheasant tail, and for the thorax I will use one of mine blends. Here's for some dubbing, ice dubbings in pink and purple, and that's it. Pretty simple blend and pretty effective. For the Wingcase cover, that's probably what that's the whole point of the video right now. I'm making with ice dub, but you can make it with any dubbing that has, or any color of ice dub that you like. I just like ice dubbing because it makes this shiny effect, and I think it's better than just mylar that you can see here, because mylar is flat and it reflects light under just one angle, while dubbing has many fibers inside which are bent in many directions, so it reflects light, as you can see, in any direction. Well, if I did it all the way around, it would reflect 360 degrees around this way, but it's definitely more noticeable. For the UV, I'm using this. It's Chinese brand. It has very nice applicator, as you will see later, like so, and cheap, doesn't stick, and I'm satisfied with it. So let's hop into tying. Before I start, obviously I need a hook, and because this is slippery thread, it should go once or twice through the beeswax. This will create more friction, thread to hook, and I start just near the bead, as you can see, and I just go like quite a bit down the hook shank, because it definitely creates more secure fly for the start, because now I can cinch it and it will not rotate around the hook. Now with flat thread, just go backwards toward the eye, and what I like to do, I like to reverse my hook like so. So now here, by figure of 8, hop, hop, and pull tight, hop, hop, and pull tight, and like 2-3 reps, and then go around the hook shank. Counter spin the bobbin to make everything flat. Now 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm making those crisscross figure of 8 reps, and by now it's solidly secured. Obviously I will do it a little bit more, and sometimes you can actually reverse if you want. And then now obviously I'm going in another direction, and then I can bring it back. Now this is very secure. I don't even need to put any super glue on this. I'm using non-stretch thread, which is nano silk. It doesn't stretch, it doesn't allow any mobility here. It's very durable, so that's why I decided to use this thread. Now at the very beginning I'll add wire, and if you watch one of my previous videos you will know exactly where and why I will place this wire. I will place it on the far side, yeah. Counterspin the bobbin holder. Okay, place the wire along the hook shank. Later, as I wrap wire, I will explain again why I do what I do. So far pretty straightforward. And I got one of the questions, how I helicopter the wire without wire moving. I will address that later as well. It's one of emails I got. Now, what I like to do is I like to use 4 or 5 pheasant tail barbs. Place them perpendicular to the radius of the feather and pull. When you reach almost the end, you will see that those tips are very, very nicely aligned, and that's what we want, yeah. Now, because it's perpendicular to the radius, I just pull the radius. Those buttons are aligned, everything is aligned. Counterspin the bobbin holder, or you don't have to. Now what you can do, you can measure if you want, like this, hook gap, and then transfer that over here, or you can do whatever measure you want to keep consistency in your fly tying. 2 wraps, and that's all I need. Keeping the tension on the thread, I'll go with the thread all the way where I want my thorax to begin, and that's more or less here. 2/3 of the effective hook shank here. 2/3, a little bit less, a little bit more, but that's it. Now in counterclockwise, if you watch from this side, I'll wrap this pheasant tail barb, wrap it counter wrap it. And if you have longer barbs, it's better, it's easier to handle. 1, 2, and then just cut it close. Now, so far so good. Now, the reason why I placed wire on the far side is because when I start wrapping in conventional way this wire under and over, it will jump and skip the tails, and because I have just a little bit of thread over here, I'll just place the wire on the thread. I won't displace the tails. I'm making this wire hotspot, like 3 wraps. Just think it looks cool, nothing else. Fish won't see that. They won't care. I care about it. And here, 1 wrap, bend slightly, 2 wraps, then 1, 2, 3, and you can go 1, 2, back. Now what happens? I made 3 wraps, secure the wire, and made 2 wraps back. So the 3rd wrap, I have total 5. The 3rd wrap over here is secured by the last 2 wraps, if that makes any sense. Or you can just simply pull the tension on the thread and then just helicopter the wire, and it won't move. It won't move here. That was the question. Like sometimes when you helicopter the wire, especially if the wire is thicker, you need sometimes more wraps, and then those more wraps will secure wire better. But remember this: when you're wrapping, let me just show you, it's easier. When you're wrapping like this in one spot, you're not actually improving integrity of your fly. You're not securing those wraps any better. If you're wrapping one here, then one next to it and one next to it, that's how you secure those materials. So I remove those 3, and then I have to remove 1, 2, and then I'm left with those 3 that I secured dubbing. If this doesn't make sense to you to count those wraps, it just becomes second nature after a couple of flies. It definitely decreases the bulk on the fly, and sometimes we just want to do that. It's not so important for this fly, but it's good to keep the habit on. And now I'm having ice dubbing in purple. I just love the color. I think it pops well, and fish definitely love purple. Even when I was doing spin fishing, fish would love those lures in purple color, so it definitely transfers to fly fishing as well. So I'm trying to align those fibers to make use of most of them. And look at this. I'll just go here and then place this under the thread, one more wrap, and then I can just go and place it almost sideways. I'll just check it. Yeah, it's almost sideways. If I don't like it, I can just put it a little bit up, but yeah, that's it. Now I'll do the same with the near side here. Now I'll pull away and remove all this excess short fibers that you can see are making are falling around, and then I'll just make a couple of more wraps and stop right where I stopped with the pheasant tail over here. So far so good. We only have to add some dubbing for the thorax and we are almost done. Almost. Because I like this thorax to be a little bit spikier, I chose this rabbit's fur. For smaller flies I would choose definitely squirrel. And how I dub, I said make a V and just spin it. The first spin, first rub doesn't make much sense, but then the next one again V and then just make longer rub. Maybe that makes some more sense now. 2 and that's it. And I'm deliberately leaving this dubbing a little bit more loose just because I want it spiky and buggy, and I'll add some more here. Okay, that's it. Let me check it. Now hold the dubbing, purple dubbing, and then pull those rabbit's hair down because you want to fold back towards the eye, everything. I'm doing that nicely, and then I'll just split those around the eye. I forgot to go back a little bit here. So split it around the eye, and then I'll just go around, check if everything is centered as I want it, then cinch on it. One more, cinch on it, and then locking wraps 2. That's it. Try to cut as close as possible. Good scissors are definitely very important here. Now those hairs I won't remove because I just like them, so I'll just pull them a little bit more and go with my thread and push them back, as you can see. That's it. Now you want to remove all those stray fibers. Usually I don't have so many. I mean, it's not many, but yeah. Now you want this as smooth as possible. It won't be perfect almost ever, but you want it as smooth as possible because when you apply UV, that UV will make those spikes when it gets dry, and that definitely doesn't look good in human eyes. Again, let me repeat that. Now I'll just soak. See, I'm pushing UV into the dubbing, and already you can see that it looks like a diamond. It reflects light so nicely. Okay, I'll just hit it with light. Now what I forgot to do is to make a whip finish, and obviously I don't need one, so I'll just cut it like this, and I may add just a tad more of UV, but just here, and here, and just I'm working around the thread, as you can see. So I'm securing everything, like making it almost bulletproof, I guess. Now that's it. I'll remove a couple of stray fibers, hairs. That's it. Final touch would be to just brush it gently sideways to imitate those legs, and you got yourself nice pheasant tail variation. Looks just cool. Try it, and when you do, I would like your feedback here in the comments down below. Tell me please what you think, and thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next week with the next video. Tight lines and all the best.